Hey, welcome to Change the Live, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. We have a super exciting show planned for you guys today. I'm about to say, happy Thursday. Tonight, we'll be talking about 5 traits every entrepreneur should have. You know, it's kind of like a spinoff of the show we had last year, Are You Ready to Be an Entrepreneur? But kind of want to revisit it, you know, in the spirit of we're early in the year, still in that third quarter. And I know a lot of people ready to get started, start a new business. So I just want to revisit it and kind of go over some of the things that I think are common traits of all successful entrepreneurs. Before we get started, I want to say what's up to my awesome producer, DJ Lab.
What's going on, brother?
Not much, man.
Another week.
Another week. We making it, too.
That's right.
2020 good so far. Say what's up to Slick 316. Also say what's up to my assistant, Joni, and everything.
She doing good?
Yeah, Johnny doing good. Talked to her today and everything. Man, we got an awesome show planned for the month of March. Last night I did a live stream. I tried to do it early in the day. I just was so busy. I did about 10, 11 o'clock, the March 2020 preview.
Okay.
I can't even remember all the shows, but the night show, again, we'll be talking about the 5 traits of every entrepreneur. Next week's show going to be real good. We're going to be asking, we'll condense the title, but in essence it'll be, should a man be considered the leader of the house if the woman is the primary breadwinner? Now, before you fellas start putting down your joysticks and pulling your pants up and start hollering your hair, let's visit that on next week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Get into it, right?
Yeah, you know, because I think there'll be a couple homeless brothers next Friday. Oh man, and I forgot the last 2 shows, but again, if you don't get a chance, go to the YouTube channel, Change the Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden, and I have the March 2020 show preview.
Okay.
For the whole month and everything, but it's gonna be action packed, gonna be real awesome this month. I'm super excited about it and everything. Jonah chiming in now. What's going on, Jonah? But I'm super excited about tonight's show because anytime, you know, people get into that New Year's, we talk about New Year's resolutions, new goals and stuff like that, everybody get pumped up and ready to go. And a lot of folks want to start their own business, want to do new chapters in their life and everything. And I just, like I always tell people, do that self-assessment.
Right.
Kind of look at what person you are and how you're built and your ways, good or bad, see if you're built for it. And I think after we go through some of the things at tonight's show, probably give people a little more clarity.
Okay.
If that's that walk they want to walk. Okay.
Because it's a hard walk.
It's hard and lonely walk.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. You know. Shout out to Scotch. God. Boy, you got
what you drinking?
Oh, this is Balvenie.
Oh, okay.
Balvenie 12-year Balvenie
What
Scotch.
they say, does it go down smooth?
Nah, this shit don't go down smooth, man. Scotch ain't that smooth by Scotch. This is what the white man brought to the Indians when he first hit Plymouth Rock. Okay. This is the fire water. That's the white man brought the fire water. He brought Scotch.
Okay.
No
smooth.
Hell no. No, ain't that smooth about it. It's a quiet taste.
Oh, okay.
And everything, but no. Ain't nothing smooth about Scotch.
It's a little different from Canadian Mist.
Oh, yeah. Ain't nothing like whiskey.
I was just asking.
No, brother, I can tell you that now. This is exactly what the men are talking about. White man, fire water. Had them killing each other in a week. You know, it's all what we do in Changing Live. We revisit the previous week. Hey, great news, guys. You know, I told you about my plan I got for, you know, the youth program. Mm-hmm. I went and met with my mastermind class on Monday night where we do the speaking mastermind group. I let everybody evaluate my initial offer out to everybody. Everybody gave me the thumbs up. I actually thought it was a rough draft.
Right.
You know, they were like, "Nah, D, this is cool to roll out." So we are gonna be rolling that out right now. Right now, implementing my Salesforce to look at it. But it's gonna be a great program for a lot of you youth organizations. Cheerleading, I mean, that football, basketball, baseball, cheerleading and everything. We'll talk about a little bit more in depth on next week's show when I roll everything out. But yeah, man, I think it's gonna be pretty good. I'm doing just an initial offer, just everybody, you know, just something for me to give to everybody, let them know, get them a taste of what the program is about.
Okay.
And then we'll, then you opportunity, if you like it and stuff like that, you can go further into the program and everything.
Okay.
But I'm super excited about it with doing that. Also, guys, I'm the owner of Majestic Business Services. We've passed that halfway mark of tax season, and I'm deep in the trenches. I'm not sleeping at all. It's been rough on me. Nice on the bank, but we've been, but it's been cool, man. It's been cool. Everything I asked for, I'm getting and stuff. My sales team, they out there grinding. They making their money. Everybody happy, like Don King said. God bless America. So it's been cool, man. It's been cool. Been blessed and everything. Kids doing great. Big shout out to Will B. My baby boy, his basketball team, they lost on Tuesday night. The second round of the playoffs.
Uh-huh.
They played the number one team in the league. They had been beating everybody like 50 to zip, 50 to 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think they beat William on like 30 to 18 or something like
Okay.
that. So, it was respectable.
Yeah.
Irrespectable, and everything.
Blowed out.
No. And they didn't punk. I mean, it was actually, be totally honest with you, they were a better team.
Mm-hmm.
And like I told the kids, just with some practicing in depth, their first year team, that team actually was good. Actually, they, I can honestly say that. So, but it was cool. I'm real proud of the kids. They didn't punk or nothing like that. They played hard. So big shout out to Coach Joe. Man, I can't remember Coach Joe's last name, but real good brother and everything. I think he did an excellent job with the kids. Also, this Sunday I started my first off-season practice with my football team.
Uh-oh. It's already time?
It's time now.
Oh.
Shit, you go through 2 losing seasons. It ain't never too damn early. Shit.
So you got to get that monitor back.
Man. That's the only thing. I ain't got no swag in my life back. So we got to get that back and everything. And everybody excited.
So it's time to start again.
Oh,
going
man.
now,
Yes,
huh?
sir. We're going to just get everybody back in the fold of it and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I'm excited about that. Hey, again, this is Changing Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden. We're also streaming live on Facebook. You can go to the Facebook page. Some of you guys are checking us out there. Make sure you go there. Also streaming live. If you drive, you can't see the video. I hear that excuse all the time. I always stop you right then and there. Hey, listen, we got a podcast. We're streaming on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Apple Radio, Spotify, Google Play. Hey, we've been on Periscope and soon to be Pandora. We're soon to be. Hey, we ain't worried about that, but listen, we everywhere. So if you Google Deonte Burden, Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden, or pull up Misfits Radio or Misfits Media Group, you have no excuse at all. Just look for the gap.
And you can go to misfitsmediagroup.net, and the live stream is right there on the website, too.
Oh, man, come on, man. Come on
Newly
now.
implemented.
There you go. But, with tonight's show, man, I'm super excited. Again, we'll be talking about, what are the 5 traits of successful entrepreneurs, Like I said, spin off from last year's show where we asked, are you ready to be an entrepreneur? And we're starting everything out, like I said initially. A lot of times people want to get into business and they have different things they want to do and everything. And I always tell people, and they say, well, hey, D, I'm ready to start a business up and everything. What do you think I should do? Or how do you think I should go about it? Before we start going into a structural plan, I try to talk to people, look at, internally, how you built mentally and everything. Because, again, you think about it in college, and I just remember most of my professors in college, you have in the real world, college being the theoretical aspect of everything, and then the real world being the practical standpoint. And most of your college professors, they have been in academia forever. They've never went and worked professionally.
Right.
And they can tell you theoretically how a business is supposed to work and how you're supposed to do certain things, but they don't understand it in practice. And if you're lucky to get one of those professors that understands, that have done both, that has taught and also worked, that's when you're like, okay, cool. Then they can give you, hey, this is what we're supposed to do, but this is what happens also, also sometimes and everything. Just give you a chance to think.
My professor called it, this is book statistics. There's these things, he used to always say, these things in the book probably will not apply to the real world because there are variables in the real world that does not apply and that will not be talked about in this book. Basically, he said the book is if everything's hunky-dory.
That's it. That's it. That's it. And, just having those. We talk about a lot in the show. Is having those contingent plans, and those being those plans when things happen. But I think this show will give people a lot of insight if they're looking at starting their own business. They're looking at starting a new, and even that being they're leaving their job altogether. They want to do something on the side. Mm-hmm. I think this will give you a good way to analyze yourself internally, if you want to start a business or not. And with listening to these 5 traits, if you do or don't have these traits, that doesn't mean you can't be successful in business. But I am saying through a research and study, these are some common traits that I found that most successful entrepreneurs will have and everything. And they don't go ask me what kind of study I had. I had a study. All right, leave it at that. But serious business though, I do think if you look at it and you can, and especially once we discuss each one of these, you'll understand why they're pretty common, and most people that are successful entrepreneurs were doing it because, like we just saying before, is a very fulfilling thing, but it's also very scary, hard, and a long walk to take. And you got to make sure you're mentally prepared to do this kind of stuff. And again, we're going to start off with talking about those 5. Before we start again, this is Change Your Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit that bell so you make sure you get notifications. So anytime I upload a video, it'll ding on your phone.
That's right.
And everything. Also subscribe to Mr. Short Dollar. That's where we do all the personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and real estate investing. Got some great videos on there, you guys, and we're growing steadily. I think I'm at 128 subscribers and everything.
I got a video I need you to do for that. We'll talk about that.
Okay, cool.
A short thing I looked up.
Okay.
Looked it up for the last couple of days.
Cool.
I'm trying to do some things, but yeah.
Cool. And then just remind everybody with Mr. Short Dollar, we talked about last week the additional thing I'm going to do with that, where I'm going to be doing, probably interview like on Zoom or something like that. Maybe once a month, different professions or entrepreneurs or different things like that to make everything tangible. We talk a lot about people want to do certain things, but maybe get a real estate investor on, get people in there that are in different fields that are going through that walk and stuff like that. We may just sit and talk with them and everything. So that should be exciting also and everything. But make sure you go to both those YouTube channels and subscribe to them. Check out also both of them on Mr. Short Dollar and Changing Lives. Also Majestic Business Services. Yes, Johnny, Mr. Short Dollar. Somebody's been out the loop.
I know, right?
Google it, and you'll see my head pop up.
You got a lot of people that keep saying, they asking you, can they be a guest, and you won't answer them. Right?
A lot of people ask me.
A. Dorsey, so they trying to be on your show. Shout out Daddy Rich.
That's a childhood friend of mine, and he knows. We'll talk after the show.
I would say LB.
Fit with LB. If you have any interest or anything about being on the show, I tell you this: just inbox me and everything, your contact information, and I guarantee I'll get in contact with you within the next 24 hours. And we'll discuss it. I guarantee it. But just even with that said, I want guys everyone to keep in mind also the context of the shows too. Changing Lives being a motivational personal development show where we talk about self-improvement, family, and kids, and Mr. Short Dollar being the show about personal finance, entrepreneurship, business, and everything. So, like one brother, he reached out to me, with his card tricks. Mm-hmm. Don't mix. It don't mix. It don't mix oil and water.
Right.
I direct him to go to Ringling Brothers. But I can't do card tricks on here.
Be Westside Misfits. We do artist stuff.
There you go. And I sent them to you. But if you seriously, if you can, just send me inbox me your contact information. I promise you, I get in contact with you in the next 24 hours. But yeah, check out both of those pages on YouTube. Also, you can subscribe to both of them on Facebook. Also, the Majestic Biz, Mr. Short Dollar, and Changing Lives. Big shout out to Slick 316. She's been very pivotal in the growth of all those pages and stuff like that. So just check them out. We got a lot of information. So if you missed the stuff that's on YouTube, we also share it on Facebook and everything. So, just keep supporting everything. Give me feedback, just like you guys reaching out about being a guest on the show. And help us grow. Tell everybody, if you like it, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share it. Don't keep all that good information to yourself.
Don't be stingy.
There you go. There you go. Share it. Okay. But hey, getting into tonight's show again, we were talking about the 5 traits that are common with most successful entrepreneurs. The first one is most successful entrepreneurs know how to execute ideas. And see, this is real funny because I know I've been accused of this plenty of times. Pooch, you stole my idea. And when we start looking at it, they know how to execute ideas. These are people that know to go from 0 to 100. When that thing pops up in their head, they don't sit on it. They know how to bring it to fruition just like that. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times people sit there and say, well, look, man, I'm thinking about making a cake place or a bakery, or, starting a car wash. And, they'll sit on it for years and, just always talk about it and everything. About like how Eddie Murphy was with his boom room. And never make it happen.
Right.
But then you got some people that think of it, they see opportunities and bam, it's there in less than a month or two. And entrepreneurs can really those successful ones, they know how to, from when that idea or that inception comes in, they know how to sit here and just go through the framework, get it set up, and just make it happen. How they do it is just a gift that they have, just something innate that enables them to do that, and everything. So what people don't really get, just in as, and as simple as I can say it, ideas ain't really shit. Everybody got ideas, but, if you can't really execute or make it happen, it's no good. And that's all it's about. Execute. If you just sitting on it, it's keeping it in your head, that's just it. Right. And there are a gazillion ideas in the graveyard right now where people just had probably, $1 million ideas that they never just brought, to fruition. Mm-hmm. Like I've been sometimes talk to people and, you say, well, hey, man, I'm thinking about doing this and thinking about doing that. I'm in one of my cleaning company. Buddy of mine, me and him was talking about it. And he was just sitting on it, just talking. Shit, he talking like that. And he was just talking about how much money they were making. I said, shoot, let me look into it. And it's about 15 years ago. And I sat there and did the math. I just got them, put everything together. Got some brooms, got some buckets. Did a little smiling and dialing, got some contracts.
Right.
You took my idea. I said, no, I just made it happen. You weren't going to do it anyway.
Right.
You're going to do what you do all the time. Talk. And I'm going to do what I do, go make some money. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't stopping him from doing it and everything like that.
Still did it too.
Yeah. I mean, it's been plenty of time I heard folks have opportunities. We see it now. Like we Google, look on YouTube, look at talk shows, people making money doing stuff like, wow. Mm-hmm. And you're like, man, let me try that out. I got a little expertise in that field, or it just seemed pretty simple. We tried, and everything. That's why people sell gift baskets and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Not that they had that $1 million idea. They seen other people doing. They figured, I can put some Hennessy in the basket and I can put some cologne and all that. Well, they are getting innovative with this stuff, man. They got porn and everything, man. Wow. I ain't know the Easter Bunny had porn. The Easter Bunny putting porn tapes in the basket. Whoa.
Grown folk Easter Bunny.
Well,
that's an idea, though, right?
Yeah, shout out that lady right there with Bankhead and Jackson Parkway. Some of them had a porn in there, I gotta get something for the kids. This last minute. Well, I got that in there. No, whoa. She got harnesses and everything in there. Know what kind of bunny she dealing with?
Yeah, harnesses and everything.
Yeah, but shout out to her for executing the idea.
It was an idea, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. Again, that trait number one is most successful entrepreneurs know how to execute ideas. Bring them to fruition once they come into their head. And I think that's a lot of people that get stuck in that idea just because they hung up, they worried about, that fear of failure. And like I always tell people, don't be afraid to start. Be more afraid of not trying and living with a life of regret than not moving on your ideas or whatever. Because if it don't work, it don't work. You can always say, hey, man, I tried. But you never want to be in a situation where you never tried. You know what I'm saying? So that was number one. Number two, you have a deep passion about what you want to do and what you're doing. Like I always, people hear me say all the time, I work, 20 hours a day. So I have to work 7 days a week.
Right.
And people look at me, so I had to work 40 hours a week. 20 hours a day, so I had to work 40 hours a week. And what I mean by that is, I love what I'm doing and I'm so engulfed with it and stuff like that. I ain't even looking like I'm working. Mm-hmm. I mean, this time of year, man, I'm going to bed 2 or 3 in the morning, sleep for a few hours, get up 7 or 8. I get asked that all the time. You know, D, do you sleep? Yeah, I close my eye for a little bit, you know, but we got to, you know, let the battery charge and do what we doing. And when you're doing like that, and you got that passion, man, you moving different. You moving different. Even when you're tired, you still moving, and you're not stressing about getting stuff done. You know, we all been in a situation where you're at work and you got these deadlines, supervisors getting on your nerve. You just, you know, when you out there, you just got something you doing, and this ain't got to just be a job. Just say you doing something at your church, or you helping your kids with their play, or with the youth team or something like that. If you really into it, man, you like really excited about getting the day started. Like, you know, hopping out of bed, moving it, you excited. And most successful entrepreneurs, they don't look at it like, okay, this is my job, this is my career, this is what I want to do. You know, and they have so much energy and passion with doing it. It's not even a thing that they're even looking for compensation. People will just, you know, pay them like, man, you bring so much to the table. You know, something was funny. I was looking at a video, and there was the guy was talking about how do you get paid speaking gigs, and the guy on the video said something that really stuck with me. He said most speaking jobs will pay. The key is, will they pay you? They'll pay. Right. It's not, you know, people like, yeah, man, I need to get some jobs that are gonna pay. You know, is it, you know, are they paying? You know, people want the first thing. Hey, you know, some guys got a little movie up the street, or got, you know, different things. You know, guy might be a DJ or this, that, and that. Are they paying? Yeah, they paying. I don't know if they're gonna pay you. Right. And that's the thing about it. People have to be realistic about it. But typically, if you're one of those folks that, no matter what you do in life, you're going hard, 150% in it. You got so much passion, you got so much energy. It's so visible, man. It attracts people to you. It attracts people like, dang, man, what's wrong with dude, man? What he was drinking? What he doing? He just love what he doing. Or she has such passion and energy for it. You know, it's almost sometimes contagious. And those people that are successful entrepreneurs, they approach stuff like that. They get tired. They get all that kind of stuff like that. But internally, it's something like, man, I'm just ready to do this. I'm just ready to do this. I don't care whatever. I'll be doing this. You know, I retire and still doing it and everything. And that's what you see like that. And I think a lot of people strive for that. You know, money is a big motivator for a lot of people. But I do know once you start making money, you kind of find some of that stuff is overrated. And I ain't finna sit here at front like, okay, I'm just getting gazillion dollars. I done had jobs paying me that. But when you start even getting comfortable and stuff like that, that still don't stop you from being miserable. Because I done been in them jobs where, you know, guys say, well, hey, look, when you're getting good money, I don't want good money. I want a white boy money. I want this. I want all the other perks. I want this and you know that. Right. Well, you getting that. You should be happy. No. And that was one of the things where you kind of like, you know, beat the pavement and you feel like you've made it because you start getting certain things, but it still ain't what you wanted, you know? And I think that's the thing when we start looking at doing things that we really love doing, that we got a deep passion for, that we love, that's when you see a lot of stuff change. You get a lot of opportunities fall in your lap. You get more money fall in your lap, stuff you're not even looking for and everything, because people see that and everything. And that's kind of like, you know, I can look at even with the tax business, man, stuff just, people start coming, other people seeing you this, that, and that, because they know you love doing what you're doing. They know you're very in tune with it. A lot of stuff just fall into your lap. Right. You know, and everything. You don't really mind being aggressive, doing other stuff, or spending late nights doing that stuff like that. So I think that's one of the traits, again, that that's very common with a lot of successful entrepreneurs. They have a deep passion for what they're doing and, you know, how they're going about certain things that they're doing. Again, this is Change the Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Tonight's show, we're talking about 5 common traits that are common with most successful entrepreneurs. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, Change the Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. And, you know, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I appreciate all the growth and support we've got so far this year. And we want to keep on going with it. So even when you see the post on Facebook or on YouTube, you know, make sure you share it with as many people as possible and subscribe to the channel. The third trait that we find is very common, and I think this is a huge one, that a lot of people don't have. And this probably stops, I would say, the bulk, and you know, probably say here, probably 90% of entrepreneurs and even people in life. they're able to recover from their failures in life and business a whole lot quicker than most folks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I even say this with me, I always kind of look at myself, when I have stuff that kind of hiccups, damn, I don't really got for a project and everything, I don't sit here like, okay, man, you get a call. Matter of fact, man, just be transparent. Had this little church came to me, Brother Burden, you like a godly man. Okay, cool, I hear it. Take it how it come.
Did you hear?
Yeah, so they needed the bookkeeper, they needed all this kind of stuff, the website design, some got the whole project, and everything. They give me tea, shared a little churches with me and everything. I'm sitting there with the pastor and everything. I'm like,
chicken?
yeah, man, in the pastor chamber. And it was going cool, man. It's like, oh, cool, I'm getting this report, so I'm staying up late, got a nice little package, gave it to him, and everything, presented. Okay, Brother Burden, let me go to the deacon board. We're going to get everything together, and, we'll get back with you, man. But, hey, look forward to doing business with you. Gave me the shake. Hey, Rev even gave me the hug. Oh. Hey, that 20, he said get back in 48 hours. 72 hours came. Rev probably busy, and everything. It might be revival night or something like that. So let me call. Rev ain't answer my call. Rev ain't answer my text. Then, the receptionist, she like, we'll get, I'll leave a message for you. About a week and a half later, get with me. Brother Burton, we talked to the deacon board, and right now, we got a member that kind of do something similar to you, that what you do and everything. We're going to try to do that, but what we're going to do, we're going to keep you on, keep you in the files or whatever and get back with you.
Keep you in mind.
Yeah.
Basically.
Ain't no standby. But anyway, that was something I really was excited about because, number one, you make some money with it and everything. We're like, cool, this is what I do. And I get amped up, closing deals. But it was just like that, man. I put damn near a week. We're getting that little proposal and package together, doing a little, historical work, making those little graphs and charts. And no. And typically with me, man, I got like naturally I got a 48-hour recovery period where I'd be like, there's some buzz, walking around, kicking dirt, feeling like boo-boo and everything, blaming.
Oh, I had the same issue. She was talking about, I had a pretty famous comedian want to do a podcast, came and met with me, talked to me, sent his supposed to be executive producer, called me, we talked about a few things, talking about, oh yeah, we're going to do this podcast, blah, blah, blah. That was 2 weeks ago, ain't heard from them.
Yeah, they might get back with you, but at the end of the day,
but this is the third time we done did this.
Third time.
We done went through this little song and dance.
Well, you play baseball before. You know how it is. Strike out.
Strike three.
Hey, look.
So he called the other day. Didn't answer the phone. Yeah, they want to know how we do what we do.
Yeah.
That's proprietary for one. But for two, I'm not going to just tell you everything.
Yeah. Ask you so you can help them get their stuff started.
Right.
Yeah, sound good. But, that was, even with me, man, like I said, I usually have like a 48-hour period. Well, I'm probably just laying in the bed and talking about what ain't fair and everything. But after that, man, shit, we back at it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things with most successful entrepreneurs. Their recovery period is much faster than the average person. We all hurt the same. Okay, I mean, I be devastated. I be this, that, and that. But, my, want or my feelings to get everything started, go get some more money is much greater. So like I said, the pain is just as intense, but the recovery is much shorter. And you learn that quickly that, hey, look, that didn't work, but that wasn't meant to work. You'll find some kind of way to look at it, her loss. And
Exactly.
Yeah. I ain't like her anyway. So, and that's one of the things, man, we just learned that, you don't dwell on everything like that. Just it's not an issue of compartmentalizing pain or just dwelling on certain things. You look at it more so as a learning point. What could I have done differently? Could I have presented it this way? Could I did that? And if you can truly say to yourself, no, I gave him a pretty good proposal, this, that, and that didn't work. All right, cool, let's keep it moving, go to the next one.
Keep pushing.
And that's how it is. But a lot of people, when things don't happen, devastated. And you see people like, even now you see the posts on Facebook, black folks don't want to support you. Your family don't want to buy your stuff and everything and all that and everything. Look, man, damn, quit whining.
Right.
Put that energy into trying to sell instead of sitting there dwelling on you ain't sold. One can take off. I'm hell on the kente cloth,
I
ain't
know. I mean,
Yeah.
somebody was trying to
Yeah.
sell you a kente clock.
No.
You was,
Ain't nobody try to sell them, but they ain't never damn selling.
all right.
You know, and everything. So that's the thing about it. You know, everybody done overstocked these dashikis. And we done past Black History Month.
Right.
We had past Kwanzaa, past Black History Month. So everybody got to get some car wash rags. You know what I'm saying?
You can't guilt anybody into supporting your dream. It just don't work that way. It just, I mean, and I see it all the time. People cry and
What about the job interview? You gave all your info out of
what job interview?
over there by where Clay Shopping Center.
Oh yeah. I went on a job interview. You know, I love doing shopping centers. That's my passion, managing shopping centers. I love that. I don't know if I love it as much as this and DJing, but I love it.
Yeah.
And I went on the interview and told them, you know, all the stuff, you know, that they should be doing, they could be doing. And they was like, oh yeah, we like that. And because the person that was doing it was not a property manager. He was actually a landscaper. They just had put him in that position.
Yeah.
So they was like, yeah. I took all my ideas and used them. They ain't called me back nan time. That was years ago. But anyway.
Sound like corporate America.
Yeah.
I did a similar thing where I had, when I first got out of grad school, I had my old job. I had designed this whole assistant controller position, you know, how I was strategically going to do this, that, and that. And that went around between the executive director and the controller for a year. Everybody yo-yoing me. Once I finally quit the job and left, they done made somebody assistant controller. Shit was never even there. Hey, man, that's the game, man.
Right, that's the game.
That's the game, man. So, you know, that's one of the things. So you just live and learn and everything. And I always look at it like that. It wasn't meant to be.
That's it.
It wasn't meant to be and everything. So, but that's why I said
Every
that.
no is saving you from something. That's my new motto.
Exactly. So
Saving you from something.
there you go. And you know, you can't dwell on that. But that's one that third one. They don't really. They're able to recover from failures real quick. And I think a lot of times when people don't get things going the way they want to go at the speed they want, it's something that, you know, it's other people never look at. Hey, man, just let it be. It might not be them. It may not be me. It just ain't meant to be. We just going to keep it moving. But that's very, very critical. I think a lot of people stop when things don't work out or things ain't going their way and just, hey, man, I just quit it all together. But you never know. You might be a sale away or a week or a day or an hour away from success. But because you quit.
You'll never
And that's
know.
the thing, but I tell all the kids, you know, especially like track, you know, look, you know what's going to happen in that race once you slow down or stop. You never know what's going to happen if you keep running. Guy beside you trip up and fall, they slip, they catch a cramp. But we know what's going to happen when you quit. You know, that's it. You know it.
You know it.
So that's the thing about it. Don't quit. Don't quit. But, you know, that recovery from failure is very, very crucial. The fourth one is one I probably I fell into a lot growing up, and I think probably, you know, is one of the things I push with my kids. Most successful entrepreneurs are passionate, lifelong learners. You know, when I was a kid, man, I was very, you know, older folk call me nose ass boy. I call myself very inquisitive.
Just ask.
Yeah. And it was always met with, you know, why the hell you keep asking questions? Why the hell you do this? Why you do that? And everything like that. But luckily, all my kids are that way. And I always have to explain to them, like, look, it's nothing wrong with us. It's something wrong with them.
Right.
And it's nothing wrong. That's the gift to always ask why and how, and not accept what you're told all the time and everything. And people that are successful entrepreneurs, they continuously want to improve themselves, learn new things, learn different things that may not necessarily have to do with their business, but just keep using that brain muscle that we talk about all the time. Is, you know, a muscle that you can use till you're 100 years old. You can meet a person that's 70, 80 years old that's, you know, a reader, learning and doing stuff. And when they talk, man, they still got all their faculties. Right. And then somebody that just been like playing the cash three or doing something forever, you be like, whoa, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's not now a knock on them. It's just the whole point of, you know, have not been using those cognitive muscles a lot. And they, just like any other muscle, get by, they will deteriorate and go away. But you see entrepreneurs, they're always trying to find new things. They're always trying to find different stuff out about the world. And it's
Ways
not
to do it better. Ways to do things better.
And like I say, it may not have anything to do with their business, but they're just constantly trying to learn different stuff, different things. You see guys that, you know, got a factory or something like that. They like doing archery and, you know, or fishing or working on cars. Just always want to learn something and everything like that. The mind is always churning and understanding the importance of being a lifelong learner, the importance of always trying to use things because I forgot the percentage that they said most people just don't even use. I think it's probably like a third that we even use of our brain capacity.
I thought they said we only use 10% of our brain.
Shit, well, there you go, 10.
We
That's
access that other 90%. We probably be flying.
oh my God. And you see those people that are just those elite thinkers, the Einsteins, the Stephen Hawkins, and stuff like that, and those guys, they next level.
Mm-hmm.
And they were both, looked at it like, what the hell, this guy's an idiot or imbecile,
Mm-hmm.
and everything. But they're just that brilliant. And I'm gonna say it because I didn't like when they would say it, and I ain't, I'm gonna be straight up with it, because I was addressed the other day. I was in a teachers meeting
Mm-hmm.
with one of my son's teachers, and my baby, he said that they had a career day. I wasn't there, and they said it was the IT guy. So if that teacher is listening, I'm talking about you.
Right.
Because I brought it up then.
Right.
Said the global director for IT for Church of Chicken was there.
Right.
And Chris asked, how many Church of Chickens worldwide?
Right.
And the teacher was like, why would you ask something like that? He brought it up in the meeting with me. And I know why Chris asked. And he's just like, the man's there, this, that, and that. I said, why you think he asked? He said, well, he thinking about chicken. I said, no. When the man said he was a global director, my son think globally. We businessmen.
Right.
That
And if you to go over the record, you should know.
yeah, but I know how my kids think.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris went in the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got home that afternoon, I said, hey, bro, what happened? He said, man, the teacher, I asked the guy that question. He just was on me. The teacher was on his teacher was like that. I said, and I had to be straight up with my son. And I don't mean this in a bad way. Bro, they don't think like us.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to understand, you got a different kind of noggin between, on your shoulders. And you thinking globally, because he said it. When the man said that, I'm thinking, okay, how many they got worldwide? I'm trying to look at this, that, and that. He's 15 years old, and that's how he processed.
Mm-hmm.
And people that don't process like that, they're not thinking. And that was one of the things about it. And I never learned that. I kind of was, as a child, a lot of times, people would probably say certain things that I probably mentioned or thought was dumb. But once I started, getting different exposure, I learned it. But never when I was younger.
Right.
And you try to keep certain things and questions to yourself. And I always tell parents, don't do that. Don't let your kid think. Let them ask questions. And because a lot of times as parents, we try to tell our kids to be quiet
Mm-hmm.
because we just don't damn know.
That's true.
Instead of just pushing our kids to thinking. So that's one of the things that, if your child is a thinker and you're a learner, hey, push it. But when you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you're constantly looking at different things to learn, different ways, even with your business, new processes, new ways to do things more efficient, things that are outside the scope of your business. That's why,
If you look at things outside the scope of your business, you're trying to figure a way you can implement that into your business. Things are always, that's what we were talking about before. People just don't read. They don't, if they ain't looking down at that screen and seeing what's on Instagram, Facebook, they not reading nothing. I mean, you got to literally put that thing. I have a book in my car, actual book, because I love to read. And when I go to work in the morning, I read 10 minutes before I got to go in just to read something. Then I go to work, and I might pull up some websites to research some stuff. I might not. I'm not going to say because I don't know who's listening. But I might or I might not because I just want to know. I just want to, because I always feel that it's always a way to do it better.
Absolutely.
It's always something I don't know. I'm never going to say I know everything because once I do that, we dead in the water.
Absolutely. I mean, you just the number one company in the world. You look at Amazon surpassed everybody. Why? Because Kmart and JCPenney, all them were so late to try to do online sales.
Mm-hmm.
They were so late to want to make things efficient as far as shipping and everything like that. Saying like some of these
they
big
got complacent.
man, come on, man.
Walmart was late to the party too.
Do you know how many organizations I've been a part of just right now that want to still take checks and don't want to do online sales and they're gonna charge a fee? But we damn the fee. We can sell 5 times, 100 times more the products or services online because everybody live on their phone. You want to wait till somebody bring you a check? And those kind of things because people are hesitant to do it because they don't know. And they just so, missing the ball on some of the opportunities in life. And that's the thing about it. If you're continuously learning and pushing yourself and stuff like that, you ain't going to do nothing but one thing. That's empower you.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, so kind of keep that in mind. You know, most of those guys are successful. They're successful entrepreneurs are passionate, lifelong learners. Again, it's a Change Your Life, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Tonight's show, we're talking about 5 traits that come with most successful entrepreneurs. Now we're coming up on the last one, okay? And this is where a lot of times people have a big issue. Where we're talking about what's going on, PJ. Successful entrepreneurs know how to handle risk. Mm-hmm. Now, see, this is where a lot of folks lose, and we did a show on this. So make sure when I mention we did a show, you guys can go back in the archives of all 173 videos we have on Changing Lives, and Google
that one.
Yeah, Google that one. What we talk about the difference between taking a chance and taking a risk. Mm-hmm. And when I say that most successful entrepreneurs know how to handle risk, when we taking a chance is like jumping off a cliff without a parachute. But you know some water down there. But when you done took a risk, you done sat there and looked at, how high you are, in the air, what kind of chute for the wind gauges and everything. You looked at all. You got things that bad can happen, but you try to reduce and mitigate the bad stuff from having as much as possible by equipping yourself with information and making sure things are covered to handle the risk. When you sit there and take a chance, you ain't even thinking about that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's like to have an unprotected sex with that fine girl at the club. You just hoping to work out all right.
Right.
So that next morning you like, oh man, call a medic.
That's taking a chance.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So you just go in the bathroom and get one of the little 50-cent things out of the bathroom wall and lower the risk.
When you take the risk, you did. How many times you left went home with somebody on this club?
Tales from the truck stop.
How many people she done did this with?
Throwing that dart, man. But that's the thing about it. Most people a lot of times they miss out on their dreams. They miss out on opportunities. When they have those great thoughts in their minds, they talk themselves out of stuff so quick, and they really don't want to put it in fruition because they find every reason why they shouldn't do it, instead of trying to find out every reason how they can do it. Mm-hmm. And it's all about mindset, man. You got so many people, that, if you do this, you got to do that. You got to do that. I just even remember when I left my job and went out there, I ain't go out there. I ain't for the city, so I went out there on no damn faith. I sat there and covered my ass. Against anything can happen. Well, I covered my ass, and it took me 2 years to do that. Mm-hmm. So you just really you know how to handle those kind of things. Could you miss some stuff and some things you just weren't prepared for happen? Absolutely.
That's with anything.
But for the most part, you sit there and put yourself in a situation where, look, man, I got as much stuff possible, covered as possible. I have contingent plans set up if this happens or that happens and stuff like that, and you do it. And that's it. You don't just sit here and just buy all this damn equipment and stuff and buy all this stuff and we're going to start selling meat. And we have done no promotions. We done no kind of advertising. We don't know anything about how to actually run a restaurant, anything. And I see it all the time, man. I'm going down Tower Boulevard, all these different little damn restaurants that open up, then they closed in a month or two. They've done no kind of promotions. They've done no kind of, really marketing assessments like, cool, we got this restaurant, but is it needed for this particular area and stuff like that. A lot of stuff which you can hire a guy like me from Majestic Business Services and stuff like that. We can do that front end analysis. I had a good job the other day, man. I was at this brother, granite slab company and everything. We doing a little market analysis and everything from and stuff. I do the same thing them guys from Hell's Kitchen and Bar Rescue do.
Right.
Ain't as expensive.
But you do it.
Yeah, I do it, but I ain't saying I'm cheap either, but do the same thing they doing and everything. Just go in there, your business, and fix it up. But those are the things about it, just looking at, what we say we try to hedge those risks, where we look at all the things bad can happen and just try to mitigate it by putting certain systems and operations in place to do it. But that's what successful entrepreneurs do. It's not they have this big S on their chest and they just don't care or whatever. They try to mitigate losses. They try to do whatever they can to cover certain things because, they see it can happen, and they put certain systems and procedures in place, and that's what it is. People say this, well, you got to do this. You just go out there on faith or just take it all yourself. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Not today.
No, you don't.
Right.
Coca-Cola, General Electric, Delta, all those Fortune 500 companies, they didn't get that because they just had that kind of damn attitude. They look at the risk. They know the highs and lows, peaks and valleys. They understand trends and what happens in different kind of cycles, and they plan accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing about it. And you have to kind of understand that kind of stuff. And what I've always preached to people, listen, if you want to get in business and everything, you're totally clueless on operations, either hire someone like me, an attorney or an architect or somebody with a skill set, or, go to Atlanta Technical College and get your basic 2-year business degree, or pay somebody to work for you that knows that kind of stuff.
I was just looking at something on a rapper, I think it was Megan Thee Stallion. She's trying to get out her contract. But the thing that got me kind of pissed off is when she made her excuses to why she trying to get out of the contract, because she said, I didn't really know what was in my contract. And I'm thinking to myself, you ain't had nobody read over your contract before you signed it? You ain't had nobody look at your contract before you sign on that dotted line? I mean, they putting the money in front of you, but sometimes you got to step back from the money and take somebody to take a look at it. Maybe let your grandmama look at it if she's still alive. I'm just saying.
I'm going to circle back to that because that's something I want to touch on after this show and everything. And I know I'm going to rub some folks the wrong way, but you got an excellent point. But I've been in similar situations like Carl Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to revisit that soon we get through with this show and everything. That's what I want to kind of end the show with too, man.
Okay.
Just with that and everything. But yeah, that rubbed me the wrong way with some of the comments and people to understand certain things, how certain things go and everything. I don't know all the ins and outs of their situation, but I've seen that movie before.
Okay.
But again, that last thing again, most successful entrepreneurs, they know how to handle risk. So, with that said, we're going to revisit all 5 of those traits again. Number 1 being, we're talking about the 5 common traits of most successful entrepreneurs. Number 1, they know how to execute ideas. They know how to bring in fruition of an idea. They don't sit here and dwell on certain things. Once they get a certain idea in their head, they know how to take it from the inception of just that thing coming in their head to make it concrete and everything. That's a trait most successful entrepreneurs, that being know how to execute ideas. The second being, they have a passion for what they want to do or what they're doing and stuff. Like, there's just something about them that's exuding energy, exuding confidence, and they just love doing what they're doing. And people, a lot of times when you have that kind of passion, have that kind of energy for what you're doing, that attracts other people to you. Most importantly, it attracts what? Money to you. The third thing, they're able to get over figures in life and business a whole lot quicker than most people. They don't dwell on certain things. They hurt just as much. The pain is just as intense, but their incubation period for that pain and hurt is a whole lot shorter than most folks. When most folks would just sit there and just be stuck in the bed for months and years at a time, or even quit. They sit there, learn from it, hurt from it, dust themselves off, and hey, let's get back to the next thing. The fourth thing, they're passionate, lifelong learners. They don't dwell on what they've learned so far. They don't dwell on what they, just being told. They're always pushing to kind of get new boundaries, find out new technology, new processes, new people, new different things that may have something to do with their business or may not have anything whatsoever to do with their businesses. The fifth thing is they know how to handle risk. And that's very, very crucial for you guys who want to be business owners and stuff like that. Don't just sit there and just stay blind and stuff on purpose. And we talk about that a lot, Lab, intentional ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
If you know it's something, a lot of times people just say, well, man, I didn't know. Leading to what we're finna start talking about. Shit, if you don't damn know, you need to find out.
Right.
And the reason why people want to say they didn't know, because they feel like that takes the accountability off of them. Well, people get over on you don't damn know. BS. I gotta tell you, that's one of the first things they grilling your ass in the Army. Mm-hmm. What the hell you mean you don't know, soldier?
Right.
You better go find out, soldier.
Right.
That's one of you would get tell your drill sergeant, your platoon sergeant, you don't know. MF, what the, now you better know.
Right.
And it's it's unacceptable. Mm. Ignorance is unacceptable. You can't do that. When you talk about your business, your livelihood, your money, your future, you have to know. Are you going to be, no fluid with no everything about it? Absolutely not.
Right.
But you have to make some kind of conscious effort to kind of learn as much as you can about things, that being the pros and the cons, and try to make plans accordingly to cover those kind of things. So, again, if you have these traits are not, it's not saying that you're not going to be a successful entrepreneur, but I do think those are just some basic common traits I think a lot of successful entrepreneurs have. So keep in mind, and we just talked about this earlier, the life of an entrepreneur is a very rewarding, great, awesome, feeling, but it's scary as hell. It's hectic, it's stressful, and all kind of stuff like that. And it's just like anything else in life. You treat it the way you want to treat it, and you make the best of it, any kind of situation. And I think that if you approach it that way, and you got a stomach to handle the highs and lows, you'll appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Because I think a lot of times, people never reach their full potential in anything in life because of barriers and handcuffs they put on themselves.
Right.
And I talk a lot. Ain't nothing wrong if you want to be. If you want to do your own thing, great. If you just want, just work at your job, great. The key is always to me about being happy. I just know, again, being transparent with myself, I always wanted, that was just my whole thing growing up on Bankhead. I wanted to work downtown. I just remember going to the Rialto Theater, seeing a white man walking around them briefcases.
Right.
And hand off, that was just my thing. Yeah, I want to give me a suit.
Rialto?
Yeah, the Rialto, man. Okay. Get out, ride the 50 Bankhead, get down out the Rialto. Yeah. Okay. Go down and look at the movies, see them white men walking around, down the side street with their briefcases, like, yeah, that's what I want to do. Then fast forward, I get my damn suit and I get my briefcase and I get my office downtown. This shit was so overrated. And most importantly, what I learned was I was not comfortable with people controlling my destiny and me asking people, for a raise, asking people, bringing up shit that I knew they knew I was doing from a performance standpoint. I just lost. I didn't want to even go through that no more. Hey, you knew what I was doing. You know how much money I was making. That's what pushed me away. But I do think of those 5 common traits that we put up, even if 1 or 2 or 3 fall into you, I think that'll, bold you on the road to be successful and everything like that. And again, it's very rewarding, it's very scary, it's very rough, and it's very fun. Mm-hmm. But I think if you invest in yourselves, don't quit. I think all of us have something in us. We all have certain characteristics and traits that we're just born with, or we're just a little bit better than us. Some of us are just more confident. Some of us work harder. Some people have some kind of foresight. Some people just, their risk tolerance is a little stronger than others. That's great. But as always, the things you have shortcomings for, work on them, push yourself and everything, get better and everything, you'll be okay. But I hope that information helped you guys, especially you guys being aspiring entrepreneurs, future business owners and everything out there. Those are 5 common traits, If you enjoyed the show, if you didn't enjoy the show, please, subscribe to the channel, share the night show. I feel pretty good about the information put out tonight, and I hope it helped you guys out a lot too. Mm-hmm. Going into what we're talking about with the Megan Thee Stallion and everything like that, and I'm say this because I was in the music business for about a good 6 months, and we know how we know how my executive music career thing went and everything like that, and this is what I look back at a situation like that. Again, I don't know the ins and outs, but like I said, again, I've seen this movie before.
Okay.
What a lot of times people don't, especially we talk about artists and stuff like that, people got to understand too. And this can go from music, any kind of business deals and stuff like that. You got to bring more shit to the table than your damn talent.
Right.
And if a person is sitting here, assuming a risk, investing in you, and making sure stuff is paid for, and they're doing kind of stuff, because if Lab want to make an album, and Lab want to do it, and it flop, Lab keep it moving.
Right.
He can stop doing it right then and there. He may come back to it later, whatever. Poochie done put all the money up. Poochie done lost his family, his house, his car. Oh, the shit happens.
Credit rating.
Everything.
Right.
Just to get you off the ground because Poochie believed in you.
Right.
And so a lot of times, if you do hit and make money, I got to make all the money I put into you and a whole lot on top of it. Mm-hmm. I'm not putting money into you just to break back damn even. Oh, hell yeah. I'm supposed to get all this money and then some, and then we can make go revisit some stuff.
Right.
And you crazy as hell if you think that, well, I did all the work I did. Yeah, you did that, but you didn't bring nothing to the table. Mm-hmm. Now, if it's 50-50 and I got my money and then you got your money and then you doing that or something like that, that's different. But most of the time we know that's not the damn case.
Right.
People come to the table They ain't got no damn money. They got all the talent. They got no damn kind of money. They have no knowledge about certain things, and people take a chance on you.
Mm-hmm.
And people put their money up and everything. So we can go into, it's easy to sit and say, well, the contract. Let's go just the real stuff, because that's what it is. A lot of times people don't want to be honest about how situations come out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do folks get over on people and do stuff like that?
Of course.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But I think everybody gonna have to get burned a little bit. That's how you learn.
Right.
But on the flip side of it too, you gotta be realistic what the hell your ass bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, besides you being pretty and you fine.
Yeah.
You might have some rap skill, but if you turn around, a man put his money, paying for spins, paying for promos, paying for all this other kind of stuff, when it hit, they gotta get their money back and a lot on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Before we start talking about renegotiation. Oh hell no. Hell no. Hell no. And that's that poor man mentality.
Right.
I'm serious.
Right.
And I think people gotta get out of it, because they're like, well, dude getting over, look at the deal they had and all that kind of stuff. But are you looking at the risk they assume? That's the thing about it. When you go out here and do business and stuff like that, and you do things that have a high risk, I mean, high risk means what? High reward.
Right.
It also means high damn loss too.
Mm-hmm.
So if you actually can sit here and bank on, put your money behind, we talking about something that's very volatile, a restaurant, a club, an artist, and if it hit, yeah, you're going to win big, but you can lose everything. And I do think, hell, we got to recoup all this kind of stuff and then come back. You can't just sit here and look at it. People, and I don't think people really realistic about that.
Right.
You know, the kind of stuff and everything. You know, people, and I think that we hear that.
Nobody put a gun to the head and make you sign a contract either.
Well, like I say again, I think that's just the thing that people throw up too easy.
Mm-hmm.
The contract, and that's on both sides.
Right.
When you sign this contract, that's what it is.
Right.
But you be forgetting, not only did you sign a contract, but you came to the table with nothing.
Nothing.
Because if you come to the table with something, if Lab is in need, Lab, come on, man, you got all the weight.
Right.
You know, if folks come to me with a job offer, I remember like when I've been in situations, hey man, you want to do a CFO position? We can pay you this, that, and that. I mean, I got credentials, I got this, that, and that. I can negotiate what the hell I want.
Mm-hmm.
If you ain't got nothing, no.
You can't negotiate.
You know?
You're right.
You know, that's the thing about it. When nobody offering you a job and you know you got no money in your pocket, you take, and you get somebody offer you a job, you take it. If you got 8 or 9 people pursuing you, you got options.
Mm-hmm.
You can negotiate. When you come to the table with nothing, I just want people to understand that when you come to the table with nothing, when I say nothing, I'm not saying that your talent is not nothing, but everybody got talent. But if somebody gonna put a machine behind you to expose that, to grow that, then they start making money, shit, they gotta get theirs back and get a lot on top.
Right.
Nobody ain't finna make no sacrifice to break back damn even.
What's the point?
I put up $100,000 for you, and then once I get my $100,000 back, we're gonna go back to the table. Oh hell no!
Right.
I gotta get my damn $500,000, and then we can talk. And that's fair.
Right.
That's fair.
Right.
But when you come to the table now, a lot of times people just can't conceptualize that. That's why they want the ones to bring that stuff to the table. Hopefully your person learn, okay, this is the kind of thing that it is. But when you say most of the time you're a savvy business person, savvy businessman, businesswoman, you understand, hey, I got to put this here, plant these seeds, and then hopefully a year or two that come back. You know, that's why I said a lot of times that fear of failure, people can you know,
Right.
or recovering from failure. Understand this is a marathon and not a race. And when people do that kind of stuff, I understand the contract stuff and not get nobody, because you know, but I just think in its most simplistic form, like, look, man, these folks took a chance on me when nobody else did. These folks put their stuff up for me. And I heard that brother interviewing, I'm pretty sure on both sides you missing some stuff.
Missing something, right?
But I do know, again, I seen that movie before. You didn't get that way without no money.
Right.
And like sometimes I say, well, the guy trying to get over, the guy want fame and all that kind of stuff. But the guy still made the
Put up his
sacrifice.
$100,000.
When people, yeah. You don't never forget the sacrifice.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it. I mean, like I said, you know, I ain't saying no talent ain't worth nothing, but I'm saying it's a lot of folk got talent. We see the homeless guy, he's singing like a jaybird.
Right.
All on YouTube.
Right.
You see the sisters, they be all in damn crystals, they be harmonizing, and they ain't going no further than damn crystals. They might, luckily when they get that machine behind them to push it. But that's just how that is. And I just think people, we got to sit here and be realistic about what we bring to the table, and you know, just how business goes and stuff like that. And hopefully when you get to the point where everything goes past that, You learn it, you renegotiate, then you do your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
But to sit here and say like, well, look kind of deal is that, and they getting this, they getting that, shit.
They deserve it.
Huh? Huh? Like, that's a whole different concept when you start talking about, I should be getting this, or it's supposed to be 50-50. Oh, hell no. It's 50-50 when we come with a 50-50 thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not how big how anything goes. I gotta make mines back and a whole lot on top.
Right.
And then we're gonna go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the only way you don't see that, you ain't come to the table now. Yeah, and that's the thing about it. And I just think that was the thing that stuck out with me the most because I've had them kind of conversations about what they feel like they should have, this, that, and that. You better get your ass back on that martyr bus talking that shit to me. Huh? Can't even pay no damn studio. I've been there, but I seen that.
Right.
I seen that movie before. Several times.
Want to use studio forever.
Yeah, ain't got nothing, man. Want to do shows, want promo and all that stuff. Ain't got no damn money. No damn money. Then
But
you
think
do
you're
that.
supposed to do it.
Supposed to do it, and any kind of good music except they see it, they're gonna put the money behind it. But when the money comes, they got to get theirs and a whole lot. That's just how that goes. So again, I will say, getting that disclaimer, I don't know all the sides, but like I said, I've seen that movie before, and I understand that it's So if you're looking to get in those kind of industries, music or even anything, you going to somebody to push behind you or your investor. Understand, just we talk about that on Shark Tank. You don't go on Shark Tank to tell them about your,
Right.
your good product. You go to the investor to tell them what this is how much it's gonna make, this is how much you gonna make, and everything. And that's why they should give you the money, not by this is how much money you gonna make. You can imagine how many calls I get these crazy ass business ideas. Yeah, man, I can make this kind of money. Well, what the hell you gonna make me?
Right.
You just like you gonna give me my money back? Oh hell no. Either I own it or you're going to be damn paying me for a long damn time.
Right.
Because if it were easy, you'll take your ass to the bank, right?
Exactly.
Huh? You coming to me, a total stranger. You went to your family.
With a business idea.
And we talking this one, I think a lot of entrepreneurs need to understand. You come with an idea. The cheapest, who charge the cheapest of all the rates? The bank. And so if you ain't went to the bank, you couldn't go to your family, you couldn't go to your friends, you come to a total stranger, oh, hell yeah, my rate's a whole lot higher. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, I just think a lot of people lose that and everything. They want to be on Shark Tank and, hey, we can do this, we can do that. Oh, hell no. And them guys ain't mean, they just business folks.
Right.
It's the reason why they're in that position. So I just wanted to talk on about that, man, because I looked at that and unfortunately, that seemed like those people were actually very close at some point in time. And you hate that money does certain things because people see it. But now understanding, like, there'll be situations, especially in that industry, you're going to get money. Yeah, but, you can cut some folks and get money. But once they tired of you, they tired of you. Because, she ain't going to be that big old freak and all that stuff forever. She going to get a couple rolls and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Hey,
things going to settle down.
Yeah. Gravity. And what you going to do? What you going to do?
She ain't gonna be dropping it. What my friend say she want the Megan Thee Stallion knees. Them knees gonna go out eventually. Man, come on now. So that's just something everybody to think about. Just those good business practices. I'm glad you brought that up. But I hope everybody enjoyed the show tonight where we talk about 5 common traits of all successful entrepreneurs. Again, just revisit a couple things. Make sure you go to Change the Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Go to the YouTube channel, subscribe to it. Also visit Mr. Short Dollar where we talk about personal finance, entrepreneurship, business, and real estate investing. Subscribe to that YouTube channel. Go to the Facebook pages. We got the same information, some stuff a little different here and there. Like both Facebook pages. Submit any kind of questions, show ideas, or things you got, think we should do certain things about. I love the feedback, love the interaction. Make sure you're sharing it, pushing it all right. And we need to keep growing, putting this good information out to everybody. Also, in the middle of tax season, on the Majestic Business Services, we are one-stop shop for small businesses. We do the tax preparation for individuals. I know most of the individuals got it done now. So right now we're getting a lot of the small businesses and people coming in. You're a small business, you need to get your taxes done. You got everything in that back room in that Nike box. Come on, bring it to us. We'll get you squared away. Also, right now, if you got, I got a video going now, man. Listen, we do the consulting work, the payroll. If you want to sit here and say, I got a business idea, D, I don't know how to make it happen, you come see me. Book an appointment. We'll take care of you. As always, all the links to everything is listed, on the bottom of the video on YouTube.
You go on Facebook, I got links everywhere, you know, as far as going to the website, which is www.majesticbiz.com, or you can give me a call at my office at 678-479-4007. Again, that's 678-479-4007. Again, all that information is listed below, all the videos and stuff. But most importantly, again, lastly, appreciate you guys for all the love and support you guys have been giving us and stuff like that. To me, Changing Lives, Mr. Short Dollar, everybody at Misfits Radio and Misfits Media Group, all the different shows and stuff. Just keep supporting all those guys. We love you. Hey, look, see you next week. Remember, next week's show, should a man be considered the leader of his house if he isn't the primary breadwinner? So, head of the household if you're not a primary breadwinner. So all you couples go and get your boxing gloves together. You ladies can free to speak what you want to say and everything. I think it's going to be a great show. See you guys then. Take care.